Oh,
Hey, man.
I am ready. I'm ready to talk about the Coven.
All right. What are we going to do for a skit?
Shit, I didn't think about that. You have any ideas?
Yes. Do
Okay.
you have any women's lingerie?
Yeah, but it's all dirty.
Hmm.
You know, it gets stuck up in there and it's like...
Yeah.
But we could take some from my mother-in-law.
Yeah? Let's go get changed. I got a great idea.
Although, I guess if we stand beside... Yeah,
It'll fit. We'll make it fit. We'll make it fit. Let's go get it. Let's go get changed.
Yeah.
We're coming back for the skit. We'll be right back.
All right. And
Chris.
we're here to talk about a movie tonight. Got sent to us. We got a screener for this movie. It is called Coven. It is directed by one Margaret Malandruccolo.
Close.
Pretty close. And written by one Lizzie Gordon, which I suspect are both two females.
I would assume, especially since one of them we saw on screen as the lead actress.
She's the lead actress, main character, right?
Mhm.
The redhead?
Reddish, yeah.
Reddish. I don't know why that matters.
I don't know. You brought up
I'm
hair
just saying-
color.
I'm not just saying, I mean, whatever.
She plays Sophie.
Sophie. And this was her choice to be in this movie.
So it is about a coven of witches who are trying to resurrect Ashura, a goddess or an ancient witch of some kind, to something will have all the power. And they need Sophie's character, she's also a witch, to join their coven since they lost a member. And hijinks ensue.
Hijinks ensue. It's a low budget movie.
For sure.
It's a low budget.
If you've seen the few graphics you've probably already seen on screen, you're thinking, this looks like low budget The Craft. You'd be correct.
This is low budget The Craft, but it does a lot of the things wrong that it could do with a low budget for me.
Okay.
The Craft works in a lot of ways for me because it's such a character-driven movie, and while it's more of a female-focused movie with all-female cast, it's still relatable in a lot of ways because it's like these outcasts in high school, right?
Sure.
And a lot of people feel that's relatable to them. And plus, growing up in that era, the music and all that stuff, nostalgia, right?
Okay.
This movie sets this whole thing in college, women, but then the characters are just like non-existent.
I would disagree with that.
They have no.
Now, I won't say that they were as strong characterizations as The Craft.
Right.
I wouldn't go that far.
Right.
But I thought that was actually one of the things that this movie could have been much worse at. Because you get a cast of just like 5 witches, they're all in a coven, you could have just... A really bad movie would have just blandly made them kind of all the same. But I thought each character had its own distinct voice,
True.
and style,
I'll grant you that.
and purpose. There was no extra. There's like one that was maybe a little bit superfluous.
Each had their own stereotype.
Each had their own stereotype, their own purpose. They all had story purpose.
Eh.
So, with the exception of, there's one
The
character,
one in the beginning
Beth.
that gets killed, yeah.
Well, it's the one that gets killed, yeah. But no, I mean Beth, she kind of played, or no, I'm sorry, I'm mixing it up. Taylor. She's kind of the dumb blonde who's like the 5th one.
I get why this movie would come out nowadays, too, because you have, like, the Sabrina show. You have The Order
did.
or whatever. Oh, did that get canceled?
Just got canceled, yeah.
Thank God. That show. Anyways.
I liked the first season.
It's okay. Kieran Shipka.
We're not getting into another Kieran Shipka argument.
But there's a lot of these kind of shows nowadays.
Yeah.
People like that kind of like light horror-y fantasy thing.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to it as a rule.
And it's a lot of times to me feels like a CW show.
This does, especially in its effects.
Yeah.
The effects were kind of cheap.
Look.
So you have relatively early in the movie, you've got an attempt at a like a ritual scene.
Yeah.
And it's going pretty good, but like then there's some knife work that immediately tells you what type of movie you're in, because the knife work is terrible. The effects don't save
Well,
it.
there's more than that. They walk into a building. It's clearly like cut in like green screen or they like put them in, but then when they cut back later, like the surroundings are different, and there's just like little details like that.
That kind of stuff doesn't tend to bother me as
Oh,
much.
so shitty. It's so cheap because like if you could do the one thing, you should be able to do the other one. It's just sloppy. And this movie has
Mostly that scene worked for me, except for that knife work. But it told me what kind of movie I was in for. So.
I guess, but I was struggling to find the conflict in the movie for a long time. And not that The Craft isn't similar in a way where like there's no conflict for like the first hour.
I mean, the conflict is what are the intentions of these witches?
But it's so upfront immediately. That lady is bad because her character is bad.
But our character doesn't know that. Our main character.
Okay, but the audience does. You're right. The other character doesn't. And
we don't know what their end game is either.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of tension there. If you don't care, I can appreciate why you lose interest in the movie, but...
Yeah. This movie, I don't think I'm the target audience for this thing. Although maybe I am because there's so much like sex and like scantily clad women and naked women and
scantily clad, light on the nude women, I would say. This movie had a chance to be a much, much sexier movie and didn't go for it many places.
But why? Like what? I think it's tapping into counterculture kind of stuff.
Like The Craft did. Not too dissimilar.
But counterculture. Okay.
They're going for like a hard rock, badass chick kind of look.
If this was a movie made by men, and all the leering, and all...
way more, I think,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because this movie doesn't linger on the sex. Like, there is a very brief lesbian sex scene.
Dude, there's a scene where it's slow-mo, like, clasping or unclasping brawls.
From the back.
No, but it doesn't matter.
If a man filmed that scene, it would have been, like, close up on the nipple, and it would have been, like, 45 minutes.
This is artwork, Ian.
Yeah,
don't you talk about my short films like that.
This movie was a little sexy, but I thought it was tastefully sexy. It wasn't, like, obscene. This isn't, like, bordering on an NC-17 or even X-rated porno by any stretch of the imagination.
This movie was...
I thought the woman's perspective was clear through the choices in the shots.
See, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Because this movie...
I mean, they certainly wanted to make a sexy movie. There's no doubt about that.
This had more nudity and sexiness and leeringness than, like, all these other low-budget movies we've watched. These low-budget horror.
I gotta disagree.
We just watched Jack in the Box, and I didn't see any jacking in a box. Like, I saw nothing.
That movie wasn't trying to be a sexy movie in any way, though.
I guess I didn't understand why this was.
Because it's trying to be The Craft. I think that explains this movie, going for an aesthetic more than trying to understand this. Because the plot is very bare bones and very tropey. I think they just had an aesthetic in mind and they were going for it. I think where this movie doesn't reach the next level that it could, even at a low budget, is really getting a tone. So, like, you compare this movie to The Craft, like, there's something about shooting on film back in those days that inherently gave movies
a look.
A look, even if you weren't an expert at capturing a look the way, certain big budget and famous directors and cinematographers are, like, it at least took you out of your own reality a little bit, just because it looked a little off from reality. Whereas today, in 2020, or I guess it's probably filmed in like 2019, like, cameras are so fucking good. It captures photorealistic, and that's not always good. Like, just putting a filter on this movie could immediately make it better, probably.
That's why people who make and shoot digital movies a lot of times go in and add a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
And because what that does is it blurs the lines. And it doesn't
It takes you out of your reality a little bit. It makes it feel less unbelievable that you're in this alternate world.
Yeah, the digital nature certainly hurts these low-budget movies. Especially,
sometimes, not always.
I think, sometimes.
Depending, if you're going for something supernatural, you probably want to create another world for your audience. And I don't think this movie did that. If it did, it would immediately make it a lot better in my opinion.
No.
So I would say, give it a strength, because I overall, I think I at least kind of liked this movie. I think the editing and the music were pretty strong for what this was. Like, they're not going to blow you away. Nobody's getting an Oscar for the music or the editing. And I don't love the style of music in this movie, but I thought it was very appropriate to this movie.
Yeah, it's like...
I thought the editing was pretty good.
I thought the acting was pretty bad.
I thought the acting was
There's a few characters that are decent. Yeah. There's a few characters that are like, this is a CW show level of acting. You know what I mean?
I believed every character.
And that's kind of why I think this should be a web series and not a movie. And you could take time to build to this, like, arc in some ways and create little, like, story lines and conflicts of the characters and their strife in college and shit like that.
You're not wrong.
Go to the length of, like, trying to make something there with this girl being new in school. But again, she's not, like, unlike... None of these girls... There's a scene in a bar where a guy is so absurd in the way he, like, gets mad at these women because they were kissing or whatever. And he's such, like, a caricature of that guy who's like,
This was Oklahoma, though.
no. Okay.
All right. You docs best stop right now. Making me sick over here and try and enjoy my beer.
Oh, hell, motherfucker, no.
They don't have any. They're like already ungodly powerful at the beginning. They're all beautiful women. They have like no issues going on at all. So it's not relatable like the Craft was, I guess, for me.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a sexy woman either.
I mean,
I wouldn't recommend this. Just watch the fucking Craft, because that's all it's trying to be. And it's just being a shittier, low-budget version of it that's bringing nothing kind of new or original to this idea. Right?
it's hard to disagree too much with you.
Like, the effects in the Craft weren't good, but they're better than they are in this.
Yeah.
The acting, it's just...
Yeah, they had some pretty good actors.
I don't
in the
mind
Craft.
taking an old movie and like doing your own spin on it.
Yeah.
Everything's fucking been done before.
Sure.
But as long as you make it your own. And this just doesn't differentiate enough.
It's hard to argue too strongly with you on that point.
So-
I don't know, if you're just like, I like the Craft and I just want more, even if it's, I don't know, I guess, it's worth checking out, but not a must-see by any stretch.
That's gonna do it!
That's how you spell bra?
Just stop looking. That's how you... Oh my god, I did spell it wrong. Alright, that's gonna do it for the Coven. Yeah. Do stuff.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter, @_badmovienight. You can message on us there if you want to tell me how dumb my voice is. It's gonna bother me now.
Alright, that's it. We'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Shit! Didn't work. I was supposed to float!
God damn it.
Oh, shit. I may not be light as a feather, but
It worked!
not what we were going for, but
Man,
wow.
now I gotta figure out what to do with this thing.
I'm gonna have to congratulate your wife next time I see her. Wow, she's a lucky lady. Just kidding. He's got a tiny dick.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, are you ready?
I've been ready.
Sure you're ready? You didn't seem ready there. You're looking at your nose.